people have really been hitting me up a lot as we grieve the loss of an icon, Pat Summitt. And I mean, some of you have sent photos and news clippings, and I want to say thank you, because that has really helped the grieving process. It means a lot because you get to look back on the memories that you share that were life-changing, because Pat Summitt is a game changer. She can change your life for the better, and she has done that for so many people. One, I noticed that a lot of people remember my first dunk at Tennessee, and a lot of the fans have said how inspiring that was. I think it's very interesting because most people don't actually know the story behind that dunk. We were in Hawaii at the preseason tournament there, and Pat she believes in diehard defense 100% of the time. You don't let up. And you know, I was still young, trying to buy into the system of buying into playing defense every possession, every single second. And I remember her telling someone to go get me on the bench because I wasn't denying, and they were taking the ball out of bounds on the sideline. And when I saw her say, "Go get her," with that little steel glare on her face, I knew she was talking about me. And I remember within a split second, I just made the decision to go for it. I mean, if push comes to shove, go for it. And I went for the steal. And I remember running down that court, and I was like, well, you got the steal, you might as well go for it. If there's one thing that Pat teaches you, she teaches you to just continually elevate yourself, to continually push yourself to new limits, and to go beyond what people believe or think. And I remember the first time I did dunk that ball, which was that day on the other end. I was hanging from the rim, and I remember my teammates surrounding me, and the outpour from the basketball community. They erupted because it's not something that you see very often in women's sports. And as amazing as the dunk was, there were so many lessons that came with that. I remember Sports Illustrated, ESPN, I was doing interviews with everyone, and there was one particular sports writer. She was a female. She came to interview me after the dunk. And, you know, we did the interview, and I remember when the article came out, and she basically bashed me for being unladylike and for doing something that women shouldn't do. And I remember going to Pat, and I was bawling, and I was in tears, like, why would someone say this about a kid? Like, I'm literally I just want to have fun. I just want to play basketball. I thought this was great for the game of basketball. And I remember Pat, one, I think she was really shocked. I don't think she realized how sensitive I was. And she just looked at me and she said, Michelle, media attention, good or bad, is good. She said, at the end of the day, you just made enough exposure for yourself to make sure that you go pro, and to make sure that you can take care of your mother, to make sure she gets the right medical treatment that she needs. You told me you wanted to go pro, and you literally just kind of solidified yourself as a pro athlete by taking the game to another level. I bring that story up for one reason. There are a lot of people who are being told by others that you can't do something or you shouldn't do something because of your gender, your religion, or your sexuality. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Pat's entire life was based on breaking through the boundaries that are set upon you, the mental boundaries that you set upon yourself. And she would always tell me, you have to get beyond being a mental midget and get to being a mental giant. You have to understand that everything you do is mental. How you perceive things, how you perceive other people, it matters. Once I learned how to do those things, and once I began to understand what she was teaching and why she was so hard on us, why she pushed us so hard, is she would push you and you would do something you never thought was possible. And you would expect, you know, to be like, okay, I made it. This is great. And even after the dunk, and she was just like, do it again. Or she would push me, sorry, it's a B. She would push me to go beyond my own limits and find a way to do something else. I think the biggest lesson that the dunk taught me and that Pat Summitt taught me was that even when you reach and you surpass the levels that you've set for yourself, there's still so much more that you can do. She taught me that she wasn't just a basketball coach. She was in real estate. She did speaking engagements. She changed the game for so many different people and life for so many people around the world. But she did that by teaching you how to dig deeper, how to continually elevate yourself, and to push yourself to new levels of success. I'm so thankful. I feel like I am so blessed to have even had an opportunity to be recruited by her, to play for her, and to have her in my life for as long as I did. That's the truth behind the dunk story. I know a lot of you guys are sharing that online. I thought you would find it interesting to know exactly how that all played out behind the scenes, as well as what you saw on television.